I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good night, Tommy Breedlove. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful night?
I am doing absolutely fabulous. Just got out of a shower, getting ready to have dinner, and a lovely conversation with you, Angel.
Hey, well, I appreciate that. Great pleasure to connect, my friend. Well, do tell us, what part of the world are you in right now?
I am in the southeast United States and right outside of Atlanta, Georgia, in the good old US of A.
Okay, all right. And which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this time?
Oh, wow. I think it's two things. I think it's my ability to connect with people from all walks of life, from the guy on the chain gang to the homeless guy to the CEO and the famous people in the boardrooms. I think it's a combination of that and the gentleman, Kay Joyner, one of my friends and my inner circle friends in life, has seen, both he and I have been through a lot over the years, and we've been knocked down many times. Some of it, a lot of it self-imposed, and we just keep getting back up and moving forward. So I think it's a combination of those two things, man.
Yeah, it's really fascinating to me. I love to connect dots in ways that are sometimes not seen by the ordinary man, but it's just fascinating to me that Kid Joyner joined us to Tommy Breedlove. It's like, hey, should we join and breed love here? Yeah, Kid is definitely an amazing guy.
Hard last name to live up to, no doubt.
Yeah, I can well
Breedlove,
imagine.
yes.
I can well imagine. So, who did you learn the skills of? Let's use that, because I think, like, I got to listen to one of your conversations on Tribe. I think it was Tribe of Entrepreneurs. I think is the name of the podcast, and it seems as though you do breed love. So, who did you learn that from?
Well, I learned it honestly from a lot of self-work. And I'm not saying that out of ego or arrogance. It really was a series of massively self-induced mistakes, from making a huge mistake as a teenager at 18 years old and ended up being incarcerated and spending my 19th 19th birthday in jail, and then being able to overcome that and pick myself up to become the first person in my family to graduate high school. I came from humble beginnings. To then I shot up through the corporate world because I was that guy who was still wearing all the mask of tough guy, cool guy, powerful guy, I'm going to outwork you guy, and shot up through the ranks of corporate America, made it to the top of the game in the ivory tower, making good money, big watch, all that nonsense. And then that ended up, because I didn't deal with my insecurities, my worthiness issues, I was trying to live ye who makes the most money wins, and that was just killing me. So I had a total almost meltdown collapse at age 36, which led me into just I don't know if you call it a spiritual awakening or a collapse. I'll take the nicer one. And so that led to me creating, really investing in myself and spending hours a day with self-growth, from emotional to mental to physical, but then also to creating of the Choose Goodness movement, which is all about helping people and organizations with clear, conscious, and courageous choices, which are really hard to do because we get so caught up in the outside world and what other people think, and being a part of the tribes that we're in. So it's my life now, serving other people and helping other people, both business leaders, individuals, and organizations, get out of their own way and live their life with meaning, live their life with happiness, and doing all that without compromising their financial success. So it's really a way of life for me now, man.
Yeah, well, I think probably they spelled breed in the wrong way, right? It was probably BREATHE instead of BREED. That's intriguing. That is amazing. So you've been doing this for a while, Tommy, and you've seen the ups and downs. Why will you continue to repeat the skills of breeding love, if you would?
Well, because I have this motto that I need to serve 51% more than I get But this stuff, I mean, it's real life for me. I have to live it. It's not only important for me to teach it both to individuals and the corporate community, these skills of life and how to be better than we were yesterday, but it really is very important for me to function as a human being in this world. And so I have to walk the walk that I live. And if I don't, Angel, I'm a Picasso at screwing up, man. And so it's so important for me to constantly evolve myself, work on myself, cultivate that self-love, worthiness, respect, so that I can teach the rest of the world to do the same, man.
Where can people reach out to you if they resonate with your story, Tommy?
Two different places, either at Tommy at choosegoodnessnow.com or Tommy at tommybreedlove.com. Either one of those. It might take me 24 hours. My schedule is quite busy at the moment. It might take me a little bit to get back to you, but I 100% promise that I will. I'm very good about answering all correspondence that come to me because it's so important, this thing we do for life.
Yeah. Well, tell us one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
I continuously invest in myself. I'm constantly going to conferences out of my comfort zone. I'm constantly reading great books, from biographies of great people to inspirational books to business books. I'm just constantly investing in myself, both mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, surrounding myself with great people, masterminds. And so I would think the thing that I've done the last 3 years and even the last 7 years is, continuously invested in myself, because I believe wholeheartedly that you have to serve and love yourself before you can serve and love others. So that's what I continuously work on, and I will till the day of my last breath, man.
How does it make you feel?
Oh my God. If I could go back in my first 36 years of life and tell you how that felt, I couldn't even describe that. It makes me feel liberated. It makes me feel honestly worthy, secure. It makes me hold my head up high. And the intangible result is the people like yourself and others and that come into my life, and the opportunities from business to relationships to friends to travel. It's just, I wish I could touch people and show them that there is a better way to live than unhappy. It feels happy, brother. It feels happy and content, man.
That's great. But yeah, talk to someone out there that's listening, and suggest to them why they should even consider doing what you've done by really putting in the information that's necessary for your growth.
Because you only get so many spins around the sun. I mean, I was the guy I was the top of the game at some of the largest financial consulting firms in the world. I mean, I had all the prestige, business success, things, what I thought were worthy relationships. And I was just miserable inside, unfulfilled and unhappy. And so if you feel those things, if it's an unhappy or insecurity, or you're not content with your life and you just think you're lacking meaning, and what does this all really mean? There is a better way, and there are tools, tactics, steps, both in the business world and the individual world, to really, you only get so many spins, and why die with regrets? Why live someone else's life and their truth? Why listen to all the noise around you and the opinions of others when you can live your own truth and be the person that you were meant to be? So why would you not do that in the limited time you have on this earth?
Amazing audience. We are live with Tommy Breedlove. Again, you can check him out. Tommy is just doing some amazing things. He is the guy that came up with the idea of Choose Goodness, if you would. Founder and chief goodness provider. Love that. When I saw that, I said, ooh, I love that. That beats CEO any day, right?
I used to have a title, and it was just meaningless. So your title is what you make of it. So we try to come up with something goofy.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, Tommy, let's switch gears for a moment now, and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Tell me, what is your
I'm already there.
what is your earliest childhood memory?
Oh my goodness! If it's the light blue Caribbean water, we'll go with a happy memory. My earliest childhood memory is I would get up every morning for breakfast. My mom would always have me a simple breakfast of cereal or cheese toast, and always have my favorite cartoon on, and actually would just let me sleep there for another hour until I had to get ready for school. And I look back on those memories and think about, oh my God, that was so, I would love to go back to that simple life and just be that kid sometimes watching Scooby-Doo, eating that cheese bread. Because we came from humble beginnings, and they worked hard, and they made sure that I had a good life, man. So that was my earliest memory.
Why do you think it's so clear? If you needed to connect the dots to the life you live now, can you?
I think I can connect the dots. I think it goes back to a simpler time. I think it makes me respect my mom and dad for all of the hard work. I mean, they came even more humble beginnings than I did, and they worked their butts off to give us the best life possible, and they did it with dignity and respect. And so I think it puts it in perspective to me, because we get caught up in what all these board meetings or consultings or public speaking gigs, and we sometimes forget where we came from. And I think it's humbling. I think it's awing. And I never want to forget my roots and where I came from. And it also helps me to serve some of the more less fortunate people around the earth and put myself in those shoes. So I think it's a humbling, and I think I'm very, very grateful for the great moments in my childhood.
Well, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Oh, absolutely. Please. Yes.
I love the way simply that in the midst of it all, the way your mother gave you the opportunity to breed love.
This is so true. I love it, man. I love it. You're making me appreciate my last name.
It definitely
the women
is.
at my local grocery store love it too. They always pass around my ID, and they're like, "Oh, this guy breeds love."
Tell me, if we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
Oh, goodness. 12 years old. That would have been, I'm going to show my age a little bit, 1986. I don't know if I could say that I have a favorite song, but I'll tell you, let me tell you who would have rocked my world during that time. I would say Madonna or Belinda Carlisle. I had so big a crushes on those two women. And then on the rock side, I would have been all hair band metal, man. It would have been a Bon Jovi, a Poison, or a Def Leppard. So any of those albums or songs, Papa Don't Preach, things like that. I was all in, brother. I'm still a music maniac to this day. So yeah, I would say the whole genre of the 80s. We'll call that my favorite song.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, you definitely have a huge breadth, right? So we can understand that. You've chosen like 7 of them. It's cool. Well, tell me, my friend.
My favorite band is Depeche Mode, by the way, and so that's in the 80s as well. But I don't admit that out loud too often.
Tell me, my friend, we have arrived at our destination. But before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's going to be yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Tommy?
Done.
Tell me, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
The world. Whoever needs it. That's what I do for a living. Anybody that needs it,
Well, you are married, right? You spoke of your wife. I hope she's doing okay, right? And she's getting the fresh air that you made it possible. Do you have children?
No children. 2 dogs.
They count. Do you believe in God?
I do. I do believe in a universal intelligence and a creator. Yes.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Oh, absolutely. They are my accountability and saviors in life. Of course, yes. That's a definitive yes. Heck yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
Oh, yeah. I would definitely say 3 hours a week, yes.
And what about screen time, the foot under the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
I spend so much of my time in front of people, I would say less than 8 hours a day.
Tell me after...
Thank goodness.
Yeah, I that was my thought. After 1,001 conversations in 3 months in 2016, Kate Joyner was definitely one of those. I came up with the workbook, the name of it being called Yours. It stands for Your Own Unique Real Self. And the idea is you answer questions similar to these to unveil your mission, if you would, which I call your own unique real statement. If you, Tommy, had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Tommy Breedlove, what would you say that is?
Participate in your own rescue. 100%. It's been life-changing for me and life-changing for the organizations and people I serve. There's no magic pill and no one coming to save you, and make the choice to live your life and participate in your own rescue and be happy.
Love it. Tommy Breedlove, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience? Yeah,
just believe in yourself, keep being who you are and doing what you do, and all of life will unfold. Make the choices that are best for you and not out of fear, and don't make the choices about what other people think. Just live your truth.
Love it. Participate in your own rescue. Tommy Breedlove, this was a great pleasure. One more time, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute, but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.